Today we are at the London Museum of Water and Steam with Milin, who is a water connoisseur. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Milin Patel, water consultant, water sommelier, here to hydrate the imagination and teach people the beauty of water so we can respect it from the taste, the source, really get involved with exactly where the water's from and create drinking water culture, drinking water lifestyle.
How did this journey start for you?
So I've always been passionate about water from a young age, as a water consultant for 25 years. And it was just through a journey of living out in California, coming from London to California and the water scarcity back in like 93. And I thought, wow, from London to California, the usage and the respect of water was very different. And then being able to move to Florida, where I've done some work on the Florida Everglades at high school level. And I really got involved with, this is what I want to do. But at that time, it was very difficult for me to relay the conversation of water, because it would be like, water boy, or it would be like, just be quiet to water, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people through my life have just seen water as just water. There's nothing special about it, but it is the substance that we all need to live our lives, to produce food. So becoming a water sommelier was to elevate the fun element of water, but then taking a step back in regards to the source of water, what the minerals in the water mean. But the beauty of it is the history that we've lost our connection to water. So back in the days, you know, there used to be like natural spring waters where people would go to bathe and to heal. At the moment in this modern society, you know, we've got a headache, we've got a leg ache, we'll go to a pharmacy to have a pill. But drinking sufficient amount of water, or water with the right types of minerals, can really help. So my advice is, if you're not feeling great, maybe just drink a bit more water and sort of measure. If that doesn't work, then go see a doctor.
I've actually recently been on this journey of trying to figure out what is the best water. You can find information on any type of water that someone's going to say, this is it, this is the one. I think that spring water, in my opinion, is the best, but it's kind of the hardest, I feel like, to find.
Yes, so great question. The best water. There is no best water.
Okay.
Every single water is unique. You know, there's more flavor that Mother Nature provides us than Pepsi and Coca-Cola put together. So when you say best water, in my professional opinion, the best water is water that comes from a tap, that is safe, that is clean and wholesome. You know, there's so many people around the world that do not have access to tap water. And if you were to imagine to not be able to go to a tap within 20 seconds and have fresh, clean, wholesome, potable drinking water, that's a serious issue. So on that element, for me, tap water. However, there's different waters that you can see behind us. And each one has a beautiful backstory, a different mineral composition, a different taste. And I put this little term, aquatastology. We have vocabulary for wine, whiskey, tea, coffee, We can communicate about it globally. And the value of this, you know, there's some coffees that will set you back $10, £10 a cup because of its beans, the taste, the cherry notes, the almond notes, whatever it, the Ethiopian blend, whatever it could be. However, we've never been taught from a young age, or even my generation, my parents' generation before that, ever been taught of how to use vocabulary to describe water. You know, water's just boring, it's plain. And the great philosopher Aristotle even said, water's just per se a carrier of flavor. However, if Aristotle was alive now, I think I would definitely be able to debate in regards to that. And I think after our little water tasting, I think you'll have the same sort of outlook on that. So it's about creating vocabulary of the taste of water. And there's no right or wrong. It's just allowing the mouthfeel, the taste, and just expressive words to describe it. And I believe if we're all trained, even from a young age now in schools, this is something that should be taught. So then we can communicate the value of water. At the moment, it's just, oh, doesn't taste of anything. But if you allow your senses to just dig a little bit deeper, you'll find something that will completely change your perception on water. And I think this is something I can't stress needs to be taught at schools. Hence why I'm here today at the museum. The museum have asked me to come in. There's going to be families coming in, and it's going to be a little journey in regards to tap water that we should all respect, but then also demand better quality tap water.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are in the world, you know, there's a lot of crazy talk on the internet, this and that, and then we've had issues with Flint, Michigan, and etc. But it's down to us as individuals, as communities, to demand more, not let government organizations or private companies dictate what we drink and how it's supplied to us. There's boys, there's girls, there's families that spend half a day traveling to obtain water when they should be in school. So raising awareness and raising and elevating these issues is important also, but also celebrating the fact that we have waters, and it's all about the communication. We've got items like this. So what influences the taste of water? The water picks up minerals, minerality, which is measured as TDS, total dissolved solids. I know there's a huge hype of pH. Yeah. Park that up to one side. pH waters, in my professional opinion, it's not going to do anything to your body. There's a lot of marketing hype. But what I would say is focus on TDS, total dissolved solids, and you'll be able to see this on bottles. So the higher the TDS, the higher the minerals within the water. And that's what gives water its taste. These here are from Scotland. This is where the water flows through, and these are all from like natural spring. These here are from Spain. These are called lava rock.
Did you personally go to these places and collect these rocks?
Yes,
Oh, that's so lovely.
A lot of the water springs contact me and say, oh, can you taste the waters? Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
But for me to relay the message, it's this.
Yeah, of course.
What influences the minerals, calcium, magnesium, silica, bicarbonates. It's all Mother Nature just adding her little recipe. And each source of water has got a completely different mineral composition, a completely different DNA than another. And you will never get two waters that are the same. Unlike Coca-Cola, Pepsi, it's all the same, you know? Yeah. So that's the beauty of it. And that's what
What was this one again? These were lava rocks from Spain?
From Spain, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a brand, Sant Aniol, just outside of Catalonia. And this is what makes their water very special. It's due to the filtration of lava rock. So we've got a number of waters behind us here. This one is from Romania, and it's got natural gold and silver colloids. The Romans would go and fill up their water jugs before battle because they knew this water had like some superpowers. If you were to go to the village of where this spring is, the elders, you know, look pretty good for their age. And some say, you know, great diet, obviously, but also good water. You know, we've got Waters. Aquapax is a UK brand. Hilden is appointed by the Queen. Iskilde from Denmark. I'd love to show you a little magic trick with this one.
Of course.
Aura Gold. Veen from Lapland. Canna. This is probably the only water naturally carbonated, so it comes out of the ground bubbling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is we can taste this, and it will be the same bubble content taste as how you would drink it out of the spring. It's remarkable how they've done this. A very special water.
Where is that from?
Slovenia.
Okay.
Yeah, very rich in calcium, low in sodium. But when we talk about sodium in waters, these are natural sodiums, not like sodium chloride, like table salt, which is good for you. Perlage from Poland. This kind of like tickles your tongue, this one, with the gentle fizz. We've got Vidago here from Portugal, from the Vidago Palace. So a lot of these spring waters, there are shrines in regards to the springs where the water comes up and celebrated from back in the day. So it's a beautiful place, and it's a health spa as well, due to the fantastic natural water that comes out of the ground. And we have a Roschbacher, which is a very popular German water, high in calcium, high in magnesium. I would consider these as like looking at water like a medicine, then water, because of the good minerals in it. And, you know, they sponsor quite a few of the soccer teams as well. And then we have a pretty special water here. It's called deep sea ocean water. So if you were to look at Antarctica at the top, cold water sinks, warm water rises. So there's a global conveyor belt, global currents underneath the oceans. So this will melt the water at the North Pole. Cold water will sink and then travel all the way down past the Cape of South Africa and then back out towards Taiwan and Japan. So this water comes 660 meters deep off the Pacific Ocean. It's slightly filtered, but it's less saline than the water above it. And this is just a natural phenomenon of the way water moves around the world.
Yeah.
So it's gently sparkling, well, added carbonation, but it's got a very unique taste.
Are you able to purchase all of these in the UK?
Some you can, some there are distributors that do have them, but there is a bit of a rise of, where you have fine wine stores.
Yeah.
And I have one over in Fulham where you can pop in and have a look. But I do it for educational reasons. Like for me, hydration purposes is tap water. Yeah. Or I put it in a traditional clay pot to allow the water just to sit in the clay pot. The clay breathes with the water and it's got a very distinctive and nice taste.
Yeah.
And then I would drink bottled water, natural spring water, certified as a fine wine. Like you don't drink fine wine every day. I'm very fortunate, the region of the world that we live in, that I can drink tap water, but I don't go out and buy plastic bottled water thinking that is my hydration water. These here,
I just realized these are all glass.
Yeah, yeah, they're all glass. There's a brand here called Aquapacks with the carbon, with the cardboard packaging.
Yeah.
This is one of the first branded cartons, and they do a lot. They do a lot of really good work.
Would you say that plastic bottles seep into the water?
Yeah, so there's a number of grades of different plastics, from PET, depending on where these are manufactured, the grade of plastic, and even to where they use plastic pellets and they heat them up to extrude the plastic to the bottle. So that could happen very, very quickly. And depending on, has that plastic cooled before they fill it? Has that plastic bottle been left in your car on a hot day? Unfortunately, plastic is a petroleum product. So regardless, it's going to leach. It's a chemical product. It's a petroleum product. It will leach. But, I don't see the use of plastic being reduced. But what I do see is people making conscious efforts of, if they're drinking bottled water, they're going to treat it like a fine wine. They're going to learn about where the source is from, the history, the backstory. There's so much fairy tale as well about these waters. And waters that are made by Dasani or Coca-Cola, Pepsi, a water made in a factory, there's no fairy tale at all. But with these, there is, and also the taste of them as well. You would learn so much if you were literally to pick up this bean, go onto a website and read about it. You'll be like, oh my God, this is like so cool. And it's a lot of the reference, I would say, it's a bit like how we celebrate fine wines, fine spirits, teas and coffees, exactly the same. But I find it a lot more intriguing. So there we go. That's a bit of an intro into.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. And then, I use these like little vortex things. Water loves to be on the move, okay? So this is something that you could use at home. It's what I use with my family.
What is it called?
It's just a water vortex. So it just spins the water around.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, I'm a big believer in energy and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge believer. So for me, the water spinning around, I leave that in there for like 10 minutes, let it spin, and then drink that water. But then also sometimes they may add a little bit of this chlorine into the water. We're going back to the cholera epidemics of, bacteria, microbiological growth in the water. So this just allows, like a wine, you air the wine, you air the water.
Where did you purchase this?
Yeah, so these are traditional clay pots from a region in India called Gujarat.
Okay.
So they're really renowned for the clay pots that are produced there. So this is a very traditional clay pot, certified clay, heavily tested, but these are handmade, and you can create beautiful designs, etc., on the back of them. And yeah, it's great. It's a great way of drinking water at home, and it gives it a very earthy taste as well.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. What I currently do is I have 5-gallon jugs.
Okay.
And I take them to, we have these machines, and there's a lot of like alkaline or reverse osmosis machines. Yes. And that's honestly what I've been currently doing.
Yeah. So I think in regards to the reverse osmosis, reverse osmosis strips everything out, the good and the bad out of water. And dependent on where you live, is it necessary? And then they may remineralize, add minerals back in, or it could be RO water. I strongly recommend not to drink straight RO water.
What is reverse osmosis?
Because it strips all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And water wants to be associated with minerals. It wants to join. So there's a lot of studies saying, you know, not to drink straight RO water. I'm an authorised person for the NHS to discuss water in hospitals here in the UK. And my professional opinion, drinking straight RO water, no. It should be remineralised. But I think it needs to take a step back. What's actually coming out of your tap when someone's telling you that you need to go down to the store and have this alkaline water, RO treated water? Again, different regions, different pipe supplies. But from what I've learned, most times the water can be very good that's coming into your property, but the pipe work in your property, which is your responsibility, could be the issue, especially in older buildings. So for me, I think if you really want to create a drinking water culture, a drinking water lifestyle, a sustainable one, there's many labs that could be local to you where you could take a sample of your water for chemistry, chemical and microbiological, and take those to the lab. And it will give you exactly what's in your water for you to make an informed decision. Do I need to go to the store and fill up my 5-gallon alkaline RO water? Or am I okay? The water quality is good and I can put it into a very cost-effective, natural, traditional, culturally, I think these are badass, to be fair.
Yeah, they're really cool. I like it.
I think understanding what's coming out of your tap and then working backwards, then just listening to some
hearsay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
hearsay.
Really
so
hearsay.
Take that small investment of sampling your water and then work out which direction you want to go. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So do you want to taste some waters?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so you've done something really, really, really nice for me. You've bought some water from Amsterdam.
Yes.
Yeah? Awesome.
Tap water from Amsterdam.
Tap water from Amsterdam. Oh, and just another note, drinking water at room temperature or about 16 degrees is a bit of a sweet spot. That allows the flavour of water to come through. So when you're drinking cold water, it numbs the taste buds. Very refreshing, very cool.
Yeah.
But then if you want to explore the taste of water, go with room temperature water. Hopefully that was straight from tap.
And what is this one?
This is London Thames water, tap water here from the museum. There's a tap just around the corner.
Okay.
So I've just spun it in the vortex, but yeah.
And so you said that you believe there's energy in water.
Oh.
Can you go further into that?
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge amount of energy in water. Great artwork from this as well, where we can freeze waters. And look at the crystal structures.
I was going to ask you, have you ever done any of Dr. Emoto's studies?
Yeah, so Dr. Emoto's studies are pretty cool. I'm in a way, I do believe, but there's not sufficient scientific background. But I think there's so much that we don't know and understand about water still. So for me, I quite like that. I quite like to see this, even if it's not 100% scientific, for me it excites me. Another dimension, another angle that we don't know. So I think the more research we do and the more people that get involved will help create better understanding. London tap water, Amsterdam tap water, and we're going to give it a little taste test in regards to the mouthfeel, the taste, and which one do you prefer? Which one would you want to take home with you? Yeah? Cheers, Lonnie.
Cheers. Does the cup have a taste?
I'm trying to be as sustainable as possible, but I can definitely
taste the difference. Is the London water colder?
Yeah, unfortunately, it just come out of the tap. This one's more room temperature, but
I can't really put words to
taste. I would describe the Amsterdam tap water a lot softer than the London tap water.
Definitely.
There's a slight taste of chlorine in the London tap water. I'd say the Amsterdam water is probably softer, less mineral than the London tap water. Smoother, softer. It's got a bit of a nice slight earthy taste on the Amsterdam water. And the London tap water definitely tastes heavy, like a heavier mouthfeel.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, 2 fantastic waters from 2 iconic cities. Hey, just got to say,
what an experience.
we got to give thanks to these waters. But let's try some other ones that may. So here, I'll do a little magic trick with this one. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to turn this into milk.
Milk.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pour a little bit out. So you see this? It's like the Willy Wonka of waters. Ready? It's gone to a bit of a milky complexion. I don't know if you can clearly see that, but that's natural oxygen in the water. But it's skilled from Denmark. Last ice age water, which travels through a lot of quartz, which has energy, a lot of silts, etc., and it gives it a pretty pleasant taste. And then if we were to compare it with, say, this water here, this is Aura Gold water, which has a natural gold and silver colloids in it. So you really, like, when we're water tasting, you really need to just really focus. Like, just sometimes meditation works prior.
They taste similar?
They're,
maybe not.
There's, I would say this one's a bit more crisper, the Aura, in comparison to the Skilled. You'll try this can of water.
Okay.
Try that.
Naturally carbonated.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one's
it's
gone.
It's very gentle.
Very, very, very gentle fizz. Then if you were to graduate.
That's so interesting.
Up to the Dargo, again, naturally carbonated, so it comes out of the ground with the bubbles.
I feel very spoiled right now. Like, I'm not going to want to go back. How can I move to one of these countries and live by the source?
Yeah. Try this Vidago from Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's carbonated also.
Yeah.
It's a little more, it has a little more of a kick.
Yeah. Bigger bubbles, bolder bubbles.
And that's natural?
Literally, it comes out of the spring with this beautiful effervescence. So when we're looking at the taste of the minerals in the water, we compare that with food and wine, like you would do with wine and food. So it's working with the mineral content of the water and also the carbonation, the mouthfeel. So for me, a fresh, crisp salad would be ideal with Vidago. But then if you wanted to try something a bit more robust, try this one.
This one's also naturally carbonated?
Yeah, from Germany. Germany has over 800 natural springs. Like, the country's just dotted with beautiful natural spring waters.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little more.
It's rich in calcium, rich in magnesium, natural bubbles. And then you can go up. The higher the TDS, the more punchy, the more taste the waters have. So next time you're looking at drinking water, don't look at pH. Find TDS, total dissolved solids.
Okay.
And that's your measurement.
So is it the more the better? Not necessarily?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
But lower TDS, light, airy waters.
Okay.
Light, soft. The higher the TDS, more punchy, more bold, more taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
No worries.
So one question I like to ask people is, if there was one thing you could say to every single person in this world, what would you tell them?
Create a drinking water lifestyle and culture by understanding your tap water, what works for you. And also, when you're drinking bottled water, just don't drink it for hydration, but really understand where the waters are from, create vocabulary on how to describe the taste of water, and share that knowledge with others so we can create a better future with water.
I think this is perfect for my plane ride home. So I'm nice and hydrated. I have the healthy minerals. So this is tap water from your home?
Tap water, the museum here. But I've just left it in this clay pot to allow it to breathe through the clay. And let me know what you think, because I really do feel that taking a step back and looking at traditional ways of how water was stored, how drinking water is something that we need to resurrect. Of
course, I think
and they still do use these clay pots, you know, in Mexico, in India, in the Far East, they still use clay pots. So
I think I do taste it. How long has it been in this pot for?
It's probably now about an hour. So normally I would leave it overnight, 3, 4, 5 hours, to get more of that richer clay taste due to sort of the museum opening and setting up.
I already tasted it though. Yeah. I can taste it.
You do, yeah. And I find it pretty pleasant. It gives it that earthiness, a bit of a taste. It's been used for centuries. And the beauty of it is that the water breathes with the clay. It keeps it naturally cool, but then where the water can move in and out of the clay, it kind of enriches it as well. And there's been quite a few studies in regards to the benefits of drinking clay pots. I'd recommend just going online and discovering the age-old tradition of clay pots. In cultures, they've always decorated the pots as well. So this one was one that we created for this pot. So, you know, you could have a bit of fun and paint your own pots.
I'm really grateful for this interaction with you because somewhere along the way, I picked up this idea that I want my water to taste like nothing.
Yeah.
So like if it tasted like anything, like if I could taste this clay,
yeah,
then I would be like, oh, this isn't right.
Yeah.
Like, I need to drink different water.
Water has taste. We've just never been tuned our minds or educated to discover it.
Yeah.
So the more TDS, just remember one thing, TDS, total dissolved solids. If you want something light and crisp, a low TDS. If you want something punchy and tasty, a higher TDS.
Yeah.
However, what I find is higher TDS waters have more minerals. So I have a lot of people suffering from migraines and this and that, always taking a pill for paracetamol or something. I give them high mineral content waters and the body's like, oh my God, give me some of that calcium. Give me some of that magnesium. Give me that potassium. Yeah. Next time you're at the store, just look carefully at the bottled waters. Maybe make a list of what you see, and then you'll work out, especially in America where you have so much processed water, i.e. tap water, filtered, some crazy claims, alkaline your body, pH balance this, supercharge yourself.
Yeah.
It's just gimmicks. Take a picture and then just spend half an hour Googling, where does this water come from? Is it from a municipal tap that's being sold back to me? Is it from a natural mineral spring, from an aquifer that's sustainable? Spend some time, just get connected on a spiritual level as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.